Good morning and welcome to Rock Tumbling Weekly. I'm Shannon and I love everything rocks and gemstones, everything about it. And if you're new to the channel, my main hobby is rock tumbling, and this is a weekly video journal in which I show you everything that's in my rock tumbling barrels. And I just keep track of the progress as I go through my projects. And I have a lot of varieties and up to 9 barrels running at any given time. So it's an interesting view if you want to take a peek at my projects. And for those who have been following along, welcome back. In, Rock Tumbling Texas weather report, it's another cold day and it's drizzling slightly, so I'll be bundling up in my raincoat again today. I considered waiting until later in the day when the weather was better, but I was just too excited to get in here and start digging into the rock tumblers. So let's get started and let me show you what's going on this week. Here is the Crazy Lace Agate after, I believe it's been 3 weeks in course. And the shape is much better. In fact, I will probably pick out some pieces that seem to be ready for medium, like this one here, so that they don't lose any more mass. And then I'll keep the rest going in course for another week. But these are looking really pretty. We've got some pieces that are nearly all white, like this one here. And then pieces that are just brilliant red. Look at how nice this is. And these multicolored pieces. Wow, this is just a really fun batch to run because you get to look at them every single week and look at the different patterns and just be in awe of your gemstones. All right, let me sort through these and get it set up for course. Here's the lava exciting Jasper, and my water didn't evaporate this week. Hooray! It's looking better. However, this still needs many more weeks in course. So we'll be seeing this in course for quite some time. You'll see how deeply pitted many of these stones are. And if they're going to be contest worthy, they need to be a lot smoother than that. But I'm really liking the color variation that I'm seeing in here. It's really pretty. Like, see how pitted that one is? Yeah. These will be in course for a while. Get used to these, because this is the batch that I need to be most patient on so that I can actually submit some this year for the contest. All right, let's get this back in its barrel with some more coarse grit. I'm really excited about this Sunstone. It's looking so nice right after a week in medium grit. And these pieces of rough rounded really nicely. These just have such a beautiful shape to them. And some of these stones have a nice little flash in the light. I don't know that the light today will catch it in here. But these are looking gorgeous. So I'm going to get these really cleaned up, get all that medium grit off of them, and then get these into fine grit for a week. But yeah, looking so nice. Yeah, I can see some flash off of this one. That's super pretty. Wow, I'm really excited about this batch. Yay. Here is the calcite after 4 days in medium. And you'll see I added in some pieces of honey calcite, and these were from a previous batch and they hadn't their polish hadn't turned out just right. So I decided to put them together when there was more room in the barrel. But you see we've got a great difference in the color of this red calcite because we have this gemmy kind of pink and then this deep red here. So there's two different types and it's looking really pretty. Look at the banding in that one. Really nice. Somebody on one of the previous comments said that this dark red calcite looked like dragon skin. And it kind of does. I would imagine that color for it. So I'm going to get this cleaned off really well and move this over into fine grit. Here is the Septarian after 4 days in fine grit. And for the most part, these are feeling like really surface smooth. However, like, oh, look at that one. How nice is that? Some of the calcite portions of it aren't quite as smooth, but the rest of it is, and it's ready to go into extra fine for a little bit before we try polish. And I'm honestly not quite sure what kind of polishing method I'm going to use for these. I'll have to think on that. But I'm loving the patterns. Some of them are all the dark material, but even so, look at the patterns that you get with those. So nice. But, yeah, this is all just calcite. There are a few of these that I'm going to pick out. Like, as nice as this is, this might break apart. We'll see. There's a couple here that are really, that are questionable. And if in doubt, take it out of your finer stages so that they don't ruin your later batches. I've learned from experience. All right, let me look through these, examine them, and put the ones that are ready into extra fine grit. The yellow Jasper has been in fine grit for a full week, and it is feeling like super duper smooth. I'm really looking forward to seeing these in polish, but they've got to spend a little time in extra fine. That's really my super secret step for getting a super shine, is just adding that stage of extra fine grit in there. It really gives the polish process a head start. Wow, look at this nice golden color. All right, let me get these in a wash cycle and then move it over to extra fine grit. Here is the super pretty Unakite that has been in extra fine grit for a week and is now ready for polish. And yeah, look at these colors. So gorgeous. And so I'm going to get this into a thorough wash cycle because there are some surface imperfections here, and I want to make sure that all of the grit is washed off of these stones and off of the media before I put it in polish. And if you're curious specifically what a wash cycle is, you can see that in my Rock Tumbling 101 tutorial, and the link for that is in the description below. Like, see this one here, like it's got a little bit of, it's got some quartz crystals in that little like cave there, and you want to make sure that all the grit is out of spots like that before you stick it in polish. So, looking so nice. All right, let me get these thoroughly washed up and into polish. Today I'm also taking up the bruised up Obsidian, and I'm putting it in the Raytech Tumble Vibe in medium grit, and
this is what it looks like here. It's supposed to be filled, so I might have to put some more ceramic media in there. But 2 teaspoons of medium grit, 4 teaspoons of water, a little bit of borax, because that's what the Obsidian tutorial recommended. And I'll get this on the vibe, and it says check it every 12 hours. So we'll see if this takes care of the bruising that we got in the rotary tumbler. Today I'm starting something that people have been requesting, Labradorite. And I have done this before on the channel way early on, and the finished product, it was just not great. And that is a common problem with Labradorite, that it goes through the first couple of stages well, and then kind of starts to fracture and crack apart and frost towards the end. This is a difficult tumble. So we're going to go through this really carefully and really mindfully and try to get the best finished product possible. This might involve the vibratory tumbler towards the end. I'll have to wait and see. In fact, I'm going to say I'm positive it will involve that, because it's the final stage. It's fine, extra fine, and polish that really beat these stones up, and I think they would just get too much in the rotary. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm just speculating right now. Let me get this in the barrel with the coarse grit. I am adding some ceramic media to start, because this is a slightly softer stone and I want to keep it from fracturing internally as much as possible. So let's get this started. Since I have this handy and available, let me just show you what the last batch of Labradorite looked like after polish. You could see it did get a shine on it, but there's lots of parts that just look fractured. And yeah. Shined up, but just has a really rough, bruised up look to it, which is a shame because this has some really nice colorful flash in it, but the surface imperfections on Labradorite stand out like a sore thumb. So the trick is to get it as smooth as possible out of fine and extra fine, but even so, like it could start to fall apart in polish. So we'll see how this goes. This was take 1. And I'm hoping that take 2 will be much, much better.
Well, thank you so much for joining me again this week and taking a look at what's going on in my barrels. We have a lot of things going on. And for those who are running more than one barrel, like me, I have 8 barrels running and the vibe. Keep logs. I have 2 separate logs. I have one that is specific to the gemstone that lists what I do from week to week. And then I have a small page that just lists the barrel numbers, what's in it, and at what stage that it is, so that if you open up the barrel and you just don't remember what grit it was last time, you have those notes available. So, all right, I'm really looking forward to seeing how some of these work out. Labradorite, like I said, is going to be a challenging tumble, and I hope that I'm going to be able to give you some good tips for tumbling it successfully yourself. And thank you for joining me. If you're new to rock tumbling, or even if you're an experienced rock tumbler and you'd like to see a wide variety of tumbled gemstones and tips and tricks and me experimenting with things, then make sure to hit the subscribe button so you'll see whenever I post a new gemstone video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week.